perfect.
Yes, it worked.
Blake's got a new toy.
I have new toys. We're recording things together, first of all, which is fun.
Oh, yeah.
And on camera. And we're seeing how it goes. And Kris, you went to blink-182, and I'm incredibly jealous. You got to tell us about seeing them. You were on the floor.
I got incredible seats. It was pure luck. I was buying tickets while I was if you're in the tech world, you have a thing called a stand-up where everybody like talks about their day.
Yes, I understand.
Yes.
For no reason.
Kyle. Yes, no, for no reason. So the Blink-182 tickets were going on sale during the stand-up. So I was like, you guys want to watch me buy these tickets? And I got in the queue or whatever, and the only seats available were like in the nosebleed sections. And my buddy Shane was like, Kris, I actually got in line too, just to kind of help you out. And I'm like 5th in line. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're basically able to pick any ticket you want. So I was like, okay. That's cool. And so then these 4 floor seats were available for, I don't even want to tell you how much they were.
But hold on.
Tell them what happened.
Happy
endings.
So I bought 4 thinking these guys, maybe if they could come, cool. If not,
we could
I'd figure something out. Yeah, no, hey, but I was just like, I'll have them just in case. So, I ended up selling 2 of the tickets to pay for the whole 4 tickets.
Yes.
Which was hilarious because they were sitting right next to me. I go, Katie was sitting next to me. Hey, ask them if they got a good deal. She was like, no, that's mean. I was like, okay.
I didn't think about it.
Yeah.
Did you get a pretty good deal on those seats?
No.
We gave an arm and a leg.
No, I was going to be like, man, dude, I feel like $200 a ticket was a little much to pay for this. What do you guys think?
I didn't even think about that you'd be sitting next to the 2 people that bought the tickets for double what you paid for them.
I got you guys a couple beers.
Yeah.
Just trust me. You don't want to know why.
You deserve them.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so I mean, the show was incredible. The seats were amazing. You know, I'm old, so I didn't want to be in the pit or whatever. But we were like 3 rows back from the pit.
Oh, yes.
You know, the show started.
How did they treat the pit? Was it just like this is open? Anybody can like? Was it a free for all?
I wouldn't say that.
Are there seats?
That's what.
No, the pit.
Here,
No,
I'm gonna be your guy. I'm gonna manage your
it
mic.
seems to be rotating a little. I'll hold it with my thumb.
That's
here.
okay. There you go. It is tight. Yeah.
The pit was you just stood up in there.
Okay.
So and then we were in the seats, so we had assigned seats.
Okay.
So the show starts out. The Blink-182 happy face logo like slowly starts to appear with the Space Odyssey theme. Like
you started crying.
Oh no, dude! I was like freaking.
One of the better band logos too, right?
Oh, yeah, and basically it's like a clock, and like it appears over the whole theme. So it's about like 2 minutes for it to all appear.
Level of excitement. 1 to 10.
Dude, I'm getting goosebumps right now just talking about
it. Man.
And the best part is, I've talked about my wife before, how like she's kind of gotten over the pop punk thing and everything. So, even before the show, she's like, I mean, I guess I'll go, And then I look over and she's like, like she's like, it like totally hit her, and she was like so excited, and it was great because I was like, yep, see, I told you, man, they bring that out in you. It just feels like 1998. They come out to Anthem number 2. Which is one of my favorite songs, just busted out. And they sound incredible immediately. If you've been to a Blink-182 show in the 90s, early 2000s, they were not known for...
They were not fantastic. That's the only time I saw them was in like 2001, 2, somewhere in that range. Whatever that State Fair show was. That we all went and saw them, right?
Yeah.
Is that the last time you saw them?
Yeah.
And was that the last time you saw them before this time? Or had you seen them another time?
No, I'd seen them at Warped Tour before.
Okay.
But that was, that's when they started doing the big tours, and I never saw them again until last week.
Yeah, because they weren't fantastic, but the videos I've seen lately, I'm like, God, they sound pretty freaking good.
I mean, I would say specifically, like musically, they were always great.
Oh yeah.
Vocally,
even musically though, they were a little sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tom, it was a known thing that Tom was going to mess. He would shut up. This part's hard.
Yeah.
Like that was a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. And he still does that, but then he played incredibly. Travis sounded perfect. They did like a whole emo era for self-titled, and Mark came out and was like, all right, everybody, put on your black eyeliner and your Coheed and Cambria shirts and make sure if your mom comes in the room and that tells you anything, you say, it's not a phase, Mom! And everybody's like laughing so hard. And then after that, he had this kind of emotional moment where he talked about cancer and looking out in the audience. He's like, I see young people. I see some people that have been coming to our shows since the 90s. And, this song is about, like, about a time in my life where I didn't know if I wanted to go on, and a lot of times during the cancer, I didn't know if I wanted to go on either. And now that I'm here and I'm with all you guys, I'm so glad that I made it. I was bawling.
I was specifically going to ask about this because so Reddit is just filled with, for whatever reason, and maybe it's because it's the hits, but like everyone keeps posting the same 15-second clips from different concerts. It's like, why is everyone recording just these moments?
Right.
But I've read so much about how like Mark has gotten vulnerable. He's like emotional and
feel it.
and like
I think having cancer and almost dying will do that.
Totally, but like none of that. I am shocked that the internet has been kind in not recording and posting those things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Feel like something to record. I didn't do it either.
And so like I was gonna ask about that, and then the other thing I want to know is like, so they're playing great, they're sounding great. Do they look like they're just having the time of their lives? Like, are they the chemistry?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I saw a clip. I haven't seen a lot, but I saw a clip someone posted. It came up like on Instagram or YouTube or something the other day where like Tom was doing something, like having trouble with a guitar or something like that, and Mark's like, "Isn't it about time you quit the band again?" Or something?
Oh yeah, he did that joke at our show too.
I was like, "That's pretty freaking good."
Yeah, and they they're goofing off with Travis, and they put a towel over his head for his drum solo to kind of mess with him, which I think might have been not something they do every night. They just did it for last night, and he was smiling and having a good time, and oh man, it just looked like looked like they were having the time of their lives.
It's kind of crazy that like for the band that just was all fart jokes and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of them have had very near death experiences.
Yeah.
2 out of 3. You know, and so I'm sure Tom's like.
Well, Tom discovered aliens while everybody's on a break.
That's the other thing that's like weird is like, so Tom DeLonge used to say all these crazy things, and apparently he's been right about some of them.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I'd say he's definitely right about like that. There's more.
How about this?
UFOs, UAPs,
he's
whatever we call them
a
now.
Successful organization.
Yeah.
And like that it's all about that
investigates
stuff.
it. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
like and like the people that work for him are the ones talking on television. And
right.
It's like,
Yeah.
these
It's
guys
weird.
work for Tom DeLonge.
Yeah.
One of those guys is at the show.
I saw the post with him next to him. Like, what must it be like for that guy to watch Tom DeLonge tell dick and fart jokes
on stage? I feel like I think it used to be about moving around a bunch, which is not easy to do and play well and sing well at the same time. And I think they finally realized like, okay, we don't have to do that. Like Tom's a little more like stoic and standing still.
That is exactly right.
But I also think it's just like you get older and stuff like that, and you realize like, oh, we don't have to move around stage to be entertaining. We can play well.
I also
cool. And the set design helps. They
Right.
had it had to be like a 7 or 8 truck tour. They had a huge set, like these big LED panels that moved, and like the bottom ones would move up, and then like a giant, the bunny would come out.
Yeah.
Or an ambulance when they did the Enema of the State era.
Oh, cool.
It was an ambulance
yes.
with the nurse driving, and they had like these kind of chains that would make it kind of move like a giant puppet. It was so cool. So you were barely looking at the band. You were like looking at the alien. There was a spaceship, and it looked like it was coming at you, and there was freaking lasers over your head. And me and Katie had little bit of
alcohol.
No, we don't drink. It was
Marijuana.
That's it. Yeah. So we were having a good time.
I was like, what is he trying to describe?
What's the word he's looking for?
Yeah,
cannabis.
I was like, oh, those lasers look like they're right over our head.
Those
Katie was
lasers
like,
are real.
She was like, yeah, dude, I think they really just are right there. I mean, it looked incredible. So I had a great time.
I like to not have a good stage production for a ticket that's that expensive, I would be offended.
No,
it was
so well worth it.
Yeah, and I want whose job is that? I'm not creative enough for that job, but that's a fantastic job.
They gave her credit. The pyro. They were like, "Hey, we just want to let everyone know that the pyro is a woman, and we think there needs to be more women in rock and roll, more women producers, more women songwriters," which is really
How
cool.
was the
My
pyro?
7-year-old loves lighting things.
No, I'm kidding. It was great.
It's very feminine.
Very feminine.
No, dude, it was awesome. Like there was like fire, and like they would shoot fireworks from the top. And oh god, there's one other thing I want to tell you that was really funny. He probably does this every night, but Mark, like, he does one moment where he like turns all the way to the back and like to the the really bad seats. He's like, "Hey guys, I just want to say hi. So you waited till the very last minute to buy tickets, huh? How's it working out for you?" But then he plays a whole song
looking at them.
That's cool. That's nice.
Did they say anything about an album?
Nothing. Not a word.
Good for them, I guess.
They barely even admitted that the song that they played, which I can't remember the name of the song right now.
I forget it too. The single. I forget.
Edging.
Whatever.
Edging.
Yeah, Edging.
Yes. They barely even discussed that it was a new song. Like, it was almost just like, this is a song. Oh, no, he said, we're going to play a new song. He's like, no, don't worry. It's not like a new song. We would not do that to you.
Yeah.
We're not going to come here and play a new song.
You could have heard it.
Yeah.
So, do you think that means there's not an album happening? Or what do you think? Or do you think they're just...
So, I think there's an album happening. I think that there are 2 Tom DeLonges. And I think that we still get tastes of the old Tom DeLonge, like the Angels and Airwaves. Like months ago said, we just finished recording the greatest album of our lives. And it's like, I want to believe that. Like, of course I'm ready to hear that album.
Yeah.
And then like, I think even as little as 2 weeks ago, Travis is like, just finished the last drum track. And I'm like, well, these things can't both be true. Now,
I guess you could have added a song.
That's what I was going to say. You could say that the chemistry has gone so well. I mean, the Chili Peppers just did that, right?
Yeah.
They got in the studio together and they recorded 2 gigantic albums because, well, one regular, another gigantic album. I think the newest one is a double LP. Anyway, the creative juices start flowing and you're just like, the magic's happening, like don't stop. But I have a feeling that the old hype monster DeLonge just can't help himself a little bit,
I think you're right.
But I do think that they had to have had an album recorded because did you guys pre-order the vinyl? I did.
I have not.
And it's been almost a year.
Oh, that's crazy.
So like
a year since they released that single?
It was I was in Rosemary. It was October.
No kidding.
So
I mean, so not a year, but
I'm exaggerating. I'm being a DeLonge.
Not 10 months.
It's mid-July.
Yeah. No, dude, we're basically to fall.
So
you're a quarter
4th
away.
of July is over.
I think that they did have an album, and then they're like, nah, we're gonna do some more.
I'm fine with them tweaking it.
Yeah. Why
make
rush
it great?
Yep, totally.
They don't need the money.
Yeah.
And all
They
the Blink
do-
fans are
they do not.
stoked.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to see the show and having a great time. And that tour is a huge undertaking. I doubt that they have a lot of time to... it's probably on pause right now. It's
I
a
think
big tour, and it's only halfway done.
Yeah, and like they've just
Still
done
have
US so
Europe
far, right?
yeah,
That's what I was
you
gonna
still have
say.
the Europe leg,
So for me, the problem is not that I'm gonna get over Blink-182. I'll never get over Blink-182.
It's not a
but
phase.
it's not a phase, Mom.
It's
but
been
like
going for a while.
I hate getting Kanye'd. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
The album's gonna drop. The album's gonna drop next month, and then like it doesn't happen. I'm not into that kind of hype. Like just be honest with me. Even if the release date is next year, give me the real release date. I'll put it on my calendar and I'll look forward to it.
And they've been
guarantee
careful not to say anything about releasing
Nothing.
it. They've said it's done or it's close to done, but they've never been like, and we're gonna have a release date soon.
What's his name? Aaron Rubin.
Oh yeah.
He said someone was like, he told me October, and he has been actually active on Instagram in responding to people's questions.
Right.
So, I mean,
Well, what I wonder is, you already sold out the tour. Like, yeah, there's a freaking train behind me. Sorry.
chugga, 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 chugga.
It's like the Oklahoma City version of a seagull.
Well, what's really fun, I don't know if you listened to the podcast longer ago, the Oklahoma City police helicopter took off 200 yards behind my house. Literally, as it took off, it went right by my house. I could wave at the the pilot. I mean, that's how low they were. Anyway, so I've got the train and the helicopters all here at my house. What was it? Like, the tour is sold out anyway. What benefit would it be to release an album in the middle of a sold out tour?
Yeah, they're not
None.
going to change their set.
Zero.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Maybe for the next tour.
So you might as well wait and release it to then book another tour if you want to.
Oh my God.
And tour on the album. Like, I mean,
But how does a band
that'd be the smart thing to do, right?
No, I completely agree.
So how does a band like them tour a new album? You almost don't, right? Like you can't be like a young band where it's like, we're just going to play songs off the new record.
No. Like, but they will. But it's still a reason that people are talking about you and to get you on tour.
Yeah, sure.
Right? So even when you're like an old, because if you've been a band for 20 years, even if you play for 2 hours, you can't. What are you gonna play? 4 songs from the new record?
Right.
I mean, like, because you know,
a lot of hits to go through.
Yeah, you've got a lot of hits,
big catalog
to play, and so you can't. Now, I mean, I wish more people would just do what Taylor Swift does and play for 3 freaking hours.
Yeah,
like kudos to her for That's amazing because I mean that's what I'd like to see more people do is like which is why I never go to the casino shows around here is because they're always like an hour and a half long, and it's always these bands that have had these decades of a career, and I'm like, I don't want to see Counting Crows play for an hour,
right?
Yeah, you know, or whoever it is, because they've been a band for 20 or 30 years. I want to like see them play for a couple hours, maybe 2 or 3.
So,
go. Well, I was going to say, I don't know I could do a 3-hour Blink-182 show.
Yeah.
It's kind of intense.
I don't know that they could. Their songs are too short.
Right?
Yeah.
Mark has always said,
yes.
we're not going to do that. But I have seen...
I could do 2, though. Did they play 2?
Yeah, it's about 2 hours.
Yeah, 2.
To your point, Blake, I have seen the Counting Crows. I have seen the Chili Peppers for a total of 6 hours in concert, and I have never seen them play Scar Tissue live.
What? Weird.
And I could not be more pissed off about it.
Do you think there's just songs like that people decide that
people love
we hate this?
We won't play it.
But do you think they hated it before then?
I don't think
reluctantly released it as a single?
I don't think they hate it. I think John Frusciante is a weird dude.
Well,
and I'm going to bring this full circle and say I think the most impressive. I said there's 2 DeLonges. There's the new Tom DeLonge, right? The new Tom DeLonge went off and did Angels and Airwaves, and I think while he did it, he learned to be more technically savvy with his guitar and pedals and things like that.
Definitely, he's a better guitarist than he was in 2003.
And he also lost some of his ego because, Kris, you and I were talking on this very podcast, not another one. On this podcast, we were talking about how there's no way he was going to play Skiba songs. And look.
They did.
He's playing Matt Skiba songs.
Yep. And he definitely played them.
Yes.
Like, he wasn't phoning it in.
It wasn't begrudgingly.
Yeah, no. I think he really did feel like he kind of kept the seat warm for me. It's not... there's no hard feelings.
It honors the person who filled in.
Yep.
And I think it says to the fans, like,
again.
I know. Like, and also to the fans, it's like, you guys stuck around while I was gone.
Dude, I hadn't thought about that.
So
that's a good point.
That's a really good point.
So I'm
most of you anyway. I don't know the Skiba could have filled the whole Moody Center.
There's someone though. Yeah. There is someone that exists that only likes Skiba Blake. You know what I mean? That's what's weird to think
Probably.
About. Some young kid that's like, who is this guy?
I love that they played Cynical because that's one of my favorite songs from that era.
And Bored to Death is a great song too.
It's a good tune.
What do you think? Do you think Tom? Do you think that he just? My theory is always that he wanted to be taken more seriously.
Yeah, and didn't think he could do it in Blink.
And didn't think he could do it in Blink for some reason. And so, to me, he just like the Angels and Airwave stuff was so. He was just such an artist about all of it, and it was weird that all of the fun part of him, he swung all the way from, Blink-182. Like he was the most ridiculous, person in Blink-182, and then he swung all the way to this like please take me seriously kind of thing. And I don't know, maybe he was always like that, and I don't know. I mean, but it does seem like he found the middle of that now.
He went
completely.
He went from boomer to this music is going to be similar to Jesus returning.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it was just like, and we've done an Angels and Airwaves record. We need to probably do some more. Yeah. But like, the hype machine, getting Kanye, which is a great way to say it. His hype machine into that first Angels and Airwaves album was like, I was like, yeah, it's pretty good, but it's not what. And I probably would have liked it better if he hadn't hyped it up so freaking much.
Totally. Didn't even Mark comment on the song, The Adventure?
Oh, I don't remember. But I mean,
he's like, the verse is good.
It's true though. Right?
No, the verse of The Adventure is like, oh, what's gonna happen in the chorus? Aw, it's not good.
We found that AP article, remember? And it's like truly he's talking about it as if it's a religious experience. Like this is gonna alter consciousness, and we're gonna open the fourth dimension with this music.
We'll never know if he might just be a salesman. He might just be like, this is what sells records.
Or he might believe in it.
I think he does. He does. Here's what I think. Here's my theory. Every band has the guy that's the artist. I feel like every band has that, right? We had that. Our singer and songwriter, Danny, was definitely the artist, right? And Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Okay. But I think every artist needs someone to rein them in as far as going like, hey, and sometimes it's not even that like that's a bad idea. Sometimes it's to convince them that it's a good idea. Because sometimes artists are the worst at going like, I hate this, it's crap, and everyone else is like, you know, people like this too, right? Totally. You know who we're thinking.
I'm actually trying to think. I don't consider myself that, and I don't think Steve is that either. So like.
You all are a weird anomaly then.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you have to have the artist, and you have to have the like poppy guy that kind of reins the artist in.
It doesn't even have to be a poppy guy. It can be a producer. It can be anyone that
there
says
it is.
That's a good idea.
For me.
Yeah, it was a producer.
Well, no, it's somebody that says, yeah, but people are gonna like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, and it's a 12-song album.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can put your weird arty one on number 5. This is number 4.
Right, but my theory on Tom is that in Angels and Airwaves and Boxcar Racer, he didn't have anyone telling him no. Would be my guess.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense? Like he was in completely. He was in complete control.
But then later, Angels and Airwaves,
their last record, dude.
Rebel Girl. That's a freaking pop
But do you
song.
think that like he realized he needs that help? I have no idea.
Well, he has that
really
help.
asking.
It's the Aaron Rubin
That's
kid.
exactly
Okay, well, so that's what it is. Okay.
Yeah,
Who's a new voice in his life,
dude. I
which
think
probably
you're.
helps.
I think you're 100% right.
And Mark
Yeah.
was that in Blink-182 for sure.
I think
Because
you're
you
100%
can
right.
tell. I mean, we did the self-titled one or the sorry, not untitled. Untitled.
dare-
Self-titled.
no,
Whatever. Untitled.
Wait, what is it?
Untitled.
Blink-182.
It's untitled. Anyway, okay. What we did this
Agree
every
to
time.
disagree. I don't
Okay.
even remember.
But we talked about how on that one, Tom wanted to go like the boxcar racer route. He wanted to be more like this rocky thing and sorry.
Take Off Your Pants.
We're talking about Take Off Your Pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I'm getting confused. Anyway, you can go back and listen to that.
Did you just tell Blake to take off the
Please take off your pants.
But in Take Off Your Pants, Tom was trying, and Mark was like, "Hey guys, like we gotta like
Not yet.
ride this
Transition.
train for one more album."
Yeah.
And like it sounds like it's kind of a miracle that record turned out the way it did and successful. But imagine what if Blink-182 would have made. I even think if they would have made the exact same album as Untitled in the place of Take Off Your Pants and Jacket, I don't think they would have the level of success. I don't think they'd be playing arenas right now. I think they needed those two like really big commercially successful records. Not that the third one wasn't. I say the third one because I'm talking about the big ones with Travis. And I think those were really important. And so I'm glad. I'm thrilled that they're back. I hope that it sticks this time. I hope we get an album. I hope I get to see them, especially after hearing you.
I don't think I'll ever go see him again.
Really? Because
it was the
that high?
perfect ending.
Well, the seats. It
Oh,
was
yeah,
a combination
you won't
of
top
the
it.
seats,
Yeah.
the moment, and just like how long I had waited.
Yep.
I just don't know if I could top it.
Which, is kind
I'll
of
go
like...
see lots of bands.
Yeah.
I just don't know if I'll ever. And there's never going to be a tour where Tom came back.
Dude,
That's true.
It was very special to see him up there with those guys.
well, and so the three of us together and separately have experienced this with Jimmy Eat World. Like, I've seen Jimmy Eat World and found you at a concert. I found you at freaking the Diamond way back in the day when we saw him, and they sounded incredible.
Yeah.
And then we all went and saw him at Criterion, and they sounded like
That was not their
poo-poo.
fault, though.
it
no,
wasn't, but
no,
it doesn't
no.
change the fact that it was.
It was
horrible.
only it was the first 3 or 4 songs.
But
which
sound
is
guy
what
was
I left.
bad.
But what I mean is, like, this is a band that none of us are going to miss if
Right.
we
Ever.
can help it.
I don't ever.
And so, because of that, we had a dog turd of an experience this last time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like,
We're gonna redeem it in
Yeah.
a couple weeks, though.
would you guys agree? I know we were talking about Blink-182.
We're all over the place.
Would you
It's
agree that Diamond show probably was the best locally?
Locally, yeah. My favorite Jimmy World experience was when they did the Futures tour because it's my favorite album. Again, that's time, place.
Yeah.
There's a whole equation
Yep.
to it. But
And
yes, the
seeing
Diamond
them,
show was
seeing them at the Whiskey in L.A.
Oh God, yeah.
with like
Kind of hard to top.
250 people when Futures was out.
Yeah.
Was pretty awesome too.
248
Sounds awesome.
bored people. And then
Yeah,
they
that's the
play.
only thing that sucks is that it was in L.A. and everyone's too cool to like
Idiots.
be into a show. No, but I kind of felt the same way about Aerosmith's doing their like final tour
Yeah.
or whatever. But like the last time I saw them was with you on the floor, and I'm kind of like,
Not
that
gonna
was
get better than
pretty
that.
great.
Right, yeah.
But it's the whole thing.
It was
together.
like everything
I
together.
saw Green Day because I happened to be in San Francisco.
Yep.
And they did the
Oh
whole
my gosh, yeah.
album front to back of their new record.
The one
after American Idiot.
Yeah.
So again, I can't top that experience, that
Yeah.
set of circumstances.
Yeah.
But since they played that whole album and didn't play a lot of old hits, I want to see him again. I heard the American Idiot tour here in Oklahoma City at the Ford Center was incredible.
So,
did you guys see that show?
I did not.
I didn't.
I've never seen
We
that.
flyered at it though, didn't we?
I think so.
We didn't have enough money to get in.
I regret not going. I was like boycotting their fame at the time.
Oh, I think I had a little of that go too. Everybody came out with confetti on them, smiling. I was like, God damn it.
You're posers.
Did you have a good time? I didn't want to see them.
I don't even like this album. It's barely good.
I'm not a fan.
Oh my gosh.
So with I'm going to spiral out further, but with
That's
that,
okay.
Less Than
all
Jake,
gone, man. Don't
Less
worry
Than
about it.
Jake is another band that I've seen 12 times. And I know we've seen, I don't know about Blake, MXPX a lot of times.
I've never seen MXPX.
I don't even know how many.
But I'm not a big MXPX guy.
Well,
So
it's one of those things where it's like over time it just becomes a MXPX show.
Yeah.
But Less Than Jake is coming here to Oklahoma City and they're going to do their entire Hello Rockview album, and I'm like, I'll see that.
I love.
That's the point.
Yep.
Love,
You gotta
love,
do
love
something.
the
Yep.
album tours.
Yep.
Same.
I want everyone to
Motion
do 'em.
City.
Yep. We saw Motion City. The Futures one was fantastic.
So good.
I would have loved to see the surprise format one that happened, the reunion one where they were going to show the film and then they actually played the show
Yep.
or whatever.
Oh, that was that got COVIDed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it
No.
happened.
Yeah,
Oh, it did happen.
It
Oh,
did
okay.
happen.
Yeah.
But it was a surprise. It was they invited people to come see. It was the documentary about like whatever, and it wasn't really the documentary. They showed up
Yeah.
and played, and it was like, but like everyone was there. I mean, like Jim Atkins and like,
I think
and
the Gorillas have done that too. Like
I think
it's
so.
like hey, this is just a movie, and then they played. Well, dude, when we saw Motion City, it was like I started getting anxious. Like I don't know how many times I leaned over to you and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna play more. There's no way
They
they're gonna
played a
play more."
great show.
Because they played so
great
long.
set.
They went through the album so quick.
They
I was
did.
just like, oh,
and then they played like
Yeah.
they probably played more than the albums
I agree.
worth of
Yeah.
other stuff. That was a great show, and they are just as good as they
They
were.
are machines.
They're so good.
How about a new album from them?
I would love. I think we're they released a single,
But it was
right?
an old single.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was like a back catalog
Dang.
thing. I think it was from Panic Station's Leftover, maybe.
Here, the thing is with recording stuff, we've like so gone off, but it's fine. We haven't talked in a while. The thing about but what I love about these bands that are now older, you know, because these are all bands that have been bands for at least 20 years. We're talking about, and some of them 30 years and stuff at this point. With recording technology being affordable and you can do it at your house, and most of these guys have one guy in the band that's doing production of some sort. So at least one, you know, that's kind of like been the MO since the early 2000s, was like someone's an engineer, a producer kind of thing in the band. And so I wish these people, even if they didn't tour, they would just make music. Like you can make a record for, you know, not that much money.
Yeah, it's not as expensive.
Right.
I made my full length for 10 grand. Like that's like doable.
Totally.
You could, and that was just me. So I mean, like,
Well, and start making the record before you tell your fan base, so that you don't have to start the clock running.
yeah,
Take
just
a year.
make it.
Well, not only that, but these guys every single one of them could sell 1,000 vinyl, right?
Oh.
And I'm
That's the
being
other thing.
modest.
I think you're right. I think
So like,
you could make money.
Just
on
run
it.
the numbers on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what Jimmy Eat World has essentially done. They basically go, we release a record every 3 years, and then we tour on it, and that's how we make our living. And we're like, and they're like a clock, other than COVID.
Yeah.
kind of broke it for a little bit, but
Well, and Jim had Davey Havoc sing on his iPhone.
Yeah.
So
You can
he's just like,
insane.
this is not that hard.
the technology
Yeah.
is crazy. I mean, I'd done that for the first time with that like synthy EP that I did, was like record without being in the room with people, like sending it to someone. He recorded sax at his house. Someone else recorded drums at his house. I did vocals at a studio, but other than that, it was in people's houses, other than the vocals and mixing. And it's cool. It's like, it's fun that you can do that. So I would love a Motion City Motion City soundtrack. Sounds like we're going to get a yellow card.
Yep.
One, which I would love, because although I feel a little bit the same way about Yellow Card, because that last show we went to was so magical, but I love them so much that I'm not going to not go see them again.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to see Yellow Card again.
I've
That
got
was a
tickets,
magical last
and
show.
I'm going to see him in Seattle in like 2 weeks.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
So
I'm excited. All right, well, that does it for this snack. Talking about
We'll end on
Blink-182.
Yellow Card.
We'll end on Yellow
Started on
Card.
Blink-182.
Start on Blink. We're still in the genre. It's totally fine.
This was a hefty snack.
yeah, this is like a full 4-course meal.
It's a great
Yeah.
snack.
Oh.
We're going to try to start doing more of these. So, anyway, snack complete. Y'all take it easy.